Welcome again to Morning Devotions, and thank you so much for our time together. I want to talk to you today about decisions. Every one of us have to make countless thousands of them every day, but are we making good decisions or bad decisions? We've been talking basically from Matthew all this year, but I want us to go back to Genesis now, to the life of Abraham and the life of Lot. In Genesis chapter 12, God told Abram to leave his family and to leave the land that he was born in and go to a land that he would show him. Abram made a good decision. He obeyed God. But Abram also made a bad decision. He took his young nephew Lot with him. Now, that decision did not think about the future, because as God began to bless him and make him very wealthy, beginning in chapter 13, we begin to have problems. So that by verses 5 through 8, quarreling has arisen between the herdsmen of Lot and the herdsmen of Abraham, and there wasn't enough room for them. So by making a poor decision of taking Lot with him, he brought quarreling and strife into his future. A few years ago, or really last year, I guess, about this time, we were being told that we had to leave the Shangri-La shopping mall. We were not going to be allowed to rent there anymore due to renovation. So our contract was being canceled 3 years into a 5-year contract, and we were desperate to find a place. Well, a friend of mine offered us one of the floors of St. Francis Square right behind Mega Mall. It would have been a great location. I mean, talk about location. But there was another church that was using an upper floor. So we went out with our board members and we looked through the whole place and we said, no, we can't do this. Because we realized we're going to fill the place. God's going to bless us. We're going to grow. God's going to prosper us. And there's going to come a point where our ushers will quarrel with their ushers. Our greeters will quarrel with their greeters. We will be competing for parking with another church. So we said, we're not going to do that. We're going to make a decision thinking about its impact upon our futures, and we don't want strife in our life. You say, well, Pastor, other churches don't treat us that way. That's not my problem. My problem is we should make good decisions. Always think about what is the impact upon the future. If God blesses me, which He's going to, how will this decision impact my future? Will it bring strife, or will it open the door for more blessings? You go on and you begin to see Lot making a decision then that when it's time to separate, he chose the most beautiful, fertile land. He chose the quality of the environment, but he didn't look at the people in that environment. And he wound up raising his family in the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, a land filled with homosexuality and things. And it's fascinating to me that even the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah, when the 5 kings went up against the 4 kings, the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah ran away. It's fascinating to study the leadership of these 2 cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, but Lot chose to live there. And he wound up losing everything again because he chose what looked like a good decision, but he didn't look at who am I going to be living among. Not just the physical environment, not just the environment to do business, but who am I going to be raising my children among. Now, Abram was wiser. After Lot left, God says, let me choose the land for you. Now that's the best way to make a decision. Let God make a decision for you. Let God choose. Because when God chooses, God thinks about the future. God will give you a decision that's good today, good tomorrow, and good for the rest of all eternity.